everyone, welcome to AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm your host, Ashley Mova, and this is a daily show where we give you all of the latest news from the world of movies, plus a little bit of insight into what it all means. Joining us, as always, is AMC Movie News Editor-in-Chief, John Campea.
Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, coming to you live from right here at the Stream.TV studios here in Hollywood, California, and we are so glad to be back after our long weekend.
Also here, writer-director John Schnepp.
I had a very relaxing weekend. Also saw The Kingsman. Incredible film.
Oh my.
Also here, AMC's Mark Ellis.
I'm still heated about our pre-show argument as to whether chimps are actually violent creatures or they're cute and helpful around the house.
Never stare at them in the eye. I'm telling Ellis here, they're violent. They sense fear. It's not a good thing.
You could say this weekend delivered up 50 Shades of Money. The new 50 Shades movie hit AMC theaters this past weekend and easily took the #1 spot at the box office with a record-breaking $85 million opening, making it the biggest February opening in film history. To date, the movie has already made over $267 million worldwide on a $40 million budget. In the #2 spot was the new Matthew Vaughn-directed film Kingsman: The Secret Service, making an impressive $36 million. In third position is the SpongeBob movie Sponge Out of Water, which took in an additional $31 million to bring its 2-week total up to $95 million domestically and almost $150 million worldwide. In fourth place was American Sniper with $16 million, and in fifth spot was Jupiter Ascending, making $9 million. John, what stands out to you about this past weekend's box office results?
Well, monstrous numbers for 50 Shades. I think I called 82 on it, so I missed by a few. I know a buddy of mine actually called 85.1. I actually have a buddy who called 85.1. So he fell just a few $100,000 short there, buddy. I'm thrilled with the results of Kingsman, because Kingsman looked to me like the type of film that was going to be a movie that I love and nobody else was going to go see. It wasn't the best marketing campaign, actually. It wasn't a well-done marketing campaign. To see it make $36 million, though, really super excited for that. I think the studio's got to be happy with that. But also standing out to me, Jupiter Ascending in fifth spot, a $176 million movie, now going into its waning weeks, has only made, I think, like $32 million bucks. So that is a biblical epic disaster on huge, huge scales. But yeah, I mean, is it any wonder? And I think, yeah, 50 Shades now worldwide already in the $200+ million thing on a $40 million budget. Is it any surprise they announced the 2 sequels like a week before the movie even hit? I mean, they are just printing money at this point. So those are things that stand out to me. Schnepp, what about you?
Yeah, you know, it's like I look at the half full, half empty cup for Jupiter Ascending. I think it's cool that it made $9 million, because I was like, oh, it's amazing that Mordecai is still in the top 10. It's not. Some movies that flop just go and you just forget about them after the first week, and it's sticking around. It's in the top 5. So that shows it's got some staying power, even though it's, you know, a lot of bad reviews and this and that. It's a very interesting, I think, kind of unique, cool science fiction film, like Dune meets Chronicles of Riddick. So people are like, sort of like, what's this weird world that the Wachowskis have built? I still think it's really a fun, weird ride. So I think a lot of people are like, I'm going to check out that Dog Boy and Toilet Girl film. You know, they're like, I'm going to go check that out. You know, so that's the surprising thing to me. And yes, I'm with you. I'm amazed that Kingsman was able to, like, at least make $36 million when, you know, trying to beat out the Domination film, which everyone knew was just going to be the #1 film. It was going to wipe the floor with anybody who opened against it. So it's cool that I think Kingsman would have made so much more if it wasn't opening against that. But yeah, I love Kingsman, so I hope it makes even more money next week.
It's funny because you, me, and Dennis Zen, we all went to go see Jupiter Ascending. We saw Jupiter Ascending and
Seventh Son.
Seventh Son as a double feature one night.
Incredible.
And I remember we came out, though, and I remember you and Dennis, you both saw redeeming qualities in Jupiter Ascending. And it's surprisingly to me, I know a number of people who see some redeeming qualities. To me, it was the worst movie since Transformers 4.
No, I know, because I sat next to John Campea, and like he'd be like, like he was having such different reactions. To me, I was like, man, that's some bad dialogue, but I can't wait to see that next scene. He was like, oh my God, like exhaling deep, like, oh. And then at one point he turned to me, he's like, I don't know, it's just so horrible. I was like, relax, man. And I was like, it's just,
I literally leaned over in pain at one moment. It's like, this is so bad.
He was leaning in pain.
Anytime a theater goer starts making Uncle at Thanksgiving noises, then it's not a good movie-going experience. I'm glad my invite to that double feature got lost in the mail.
Dude, that was the best, most
That was a
epic
great
double
night.
feature.
It was a great night.
Seventh Son, if you guys haven't had the fun and I think it's still playing somewhere. Like, you guys should check it out. There's some crawl moments in there.
Well, I think that for the box office this weekend, I think it was a great weekend. When you just look at the theater-going experience, this had something for everybody. I love that this happened on President's Day weekend because it's a movie about dirty lovemaking defeating a bunch of Brits. I thought that was cool. And this, to me, is pre-sales versus word of mouth because everybody who was going to see 50 Shades of Grey was like, oh, yeah, this is such a cool thing. We can't wait to get everybody together and our bachelorette party's all going to go out. We're going to rent a party bus and go see 50 Shades of Grey. That was planned a month in advance.
Yeah.
Kingsman was more of a word of mouth thing, is that people saw all these positive reviews and they say, oh, yeah, I like Colin Firth. Samuel L. Jackson looks funny in it. Maybe I'll go check this out. I like a spy thriller. And people told their friends, you need to go see this movie. So it's cool to see a film make that much money. And then SpongeBob also, it's like that's gonna be hanging around for a while.
It really will. And you know what the funny thing is about Kingsman? I thought one of the things that I wasn't going to like about the movie was Samuel L. Jackson. Like, I was like, okay, really got to put Sam Jackson in that role? Loved him.
He was
in it.
great.
He was great in it. All right, what's next?
Some people had began to wonder if the upcoming Assassin's Creed movie was actually going to happen. After announcing that Michael Fassbender would be starring in and producing the film, news fell silent and eventually the film was moved off its release date. Even after New Regency Pictures announced a new December 21st, 2016 release date, many still believe the film was never going to happen. However, it has now been reported that Academy Award-winning actress Marion Cotillard has joined the film. Cotillard recently appeared in The Dark Knight Rises as Talia al Ghul. Schnepp, does this announcement put the project on firm grounds now?
Yeah, it puts it on firm ground. She's an incredible actress. I think it was Livian Rose. I mean, she's such a beautiful actress and amazingly talented. Great cast, a great addition to the film that maybe will come out sometime in the next decade. I don't know. I mean, I want a still of them shooting. That's what then I'll be like, all right, they're making the film. So right now it's like, who knows when they're gonna make it. So
Mark?
Yeah, I think that it's neat news. I think she's going to be great in the film if it happens, but it doesn't put it on firm ground for me yet because you can cast the film without having to do any actual work. Once you start hiring the union guys, that's when I'm saying, oh, okay, this movie is really getting made now because even we've talked about it on the show the last couple months. You look at films that have had a cast and then it keeps switching who's in the movie. Now, those movies eventually end up getting made, but I'm not going to put my money on Assassin's Creed starring Michael Fassbender and Marion Cotillard just yet.
I'm going to say it does put on a little bit more firm ground. Like, they also have re-announced, but then again, you can go back on announcement. They said they're going to start shooting this thing in fall of 2015 for a December 2016 release. That's roughly the right kind of time period. Adding an Academy Award level actress like her is great. But what's even more interesting is that by casting her, there's a little movie coming out called Macbeth, being directed by Justin Kurzweil, who is also directing Assassin's Creed, which is also starring Michael Fassbender, who is starring this. So they got the whole gang back together again. So because of that, because they're getting all these people who just worked together in Macbeth, and now they're all coming together again, that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable about it. And but you're right, they can announce it, big deal. They can go back and announce something else tomorrow. All right, folks, we reached that part of the show for buy and sell. Here's how this works. In front of her, Ashley has one other item from the world of movie news. She's going to tell us all about it, and then those of us at the table are simply going to say whether we buy it or sell. So, Ashley, what do we got?
According to The Hollywood Reporter, mixed martial artist turned actress Gina Carano has joined the upcoming Ryan Reynolds film Deadpool. According to the report, Carano will be playing the mutant Angel Dust. Mark Byers saw the addition of Carano to Deadpool.
I want to buy this so bad. I am so attracted to Gina Carano. I can't buy it just yet because she hasn't proven enough in the world of acting to me. I thought Haywire was a cool movie, and I walked out of that like, she wasn't that bad. And then our own Christian Harloff from AMC told me that wasn't her voice, dude. I'm like, what? No, it wasn't her voice. They dubbed her voiceover. So I can't. I think that she can physically, she can handle any role you throw at her. She can beat the crap out of Ryan Reynolds in real life. As far as acting chops go, I think that what this character is, it's an underworldy kind of mutant. I think it's the Morlocks.
Yeah,
is that right?
she's one of the Morlocks.
Yeah. So if there isn't a whole lot of dialogue required, I think she can knock this role out of the park. if there's too much, if she and Ryan Reynolds have to have real chemistry on screen, that's the one that I can't quite buy yet.
Right. I'm going to buy this huge, huge, for a couple of reasons. Number one, she's not the female lead of the film. So they're still going to cast a female lead. So the chemistry with Ryan Reynolds is going to be, the need for that is going to be marginal, right? But this is exactly the kind of role that a Gina Carano should be in. A supporting action kind of role. Don't make her Wonder Woman. Don't make her, somebody who's got to carry and lead a film because of her acting and all that kind of stuff. But she's got on-camera charisma. She's gorgeous. She is one of the best badasses on the planet Earth. You're right. She could literally take out Ryan Reynolds and all of us.
And I'd pay to have that experience happen.
Yes, without breaking a sweat. So because of all that, and it's an interesting mutant. If I remember right, it's like she's got the mutant ability to instantly increase her adrenaline levels, to hype up her strength, speed, and all that kind of stuff. Kind of interesting. To me, this means she's kind of strung out on something as opposed to a mutant, but okay, whatever. But this, you're going to put her in, these are the types of roles that she should be in. It's like the Dave Bautista kind of roles. I think this is a good fit, so for me, it's a buy.
Yeah, I'm going to buy it too. Like when you said that, I was like, oh, she's strung out on her own sauce. You know what I mean? She doesn't, it's like, weird. But yeah, I'm going to buy it because I think Gina Carano is a good actress. She maybe a little too early with Haywire, and yeah, she was voiced over by the actress from Sex, Lies, and Videotape. So it's sort of one of those things where it might have been a last-minute thing. And we've seen voiceovers happen for all different kinds of reasons. Like Doug Jones got voiced over by
Morpheus.
Fishburne, yeah.
Yes.
And that was kind of like, hey, he's an actor, he can act, and it's like it's kind of insulting to like have his voice taken out and changed to Morpheus. So it was like. I never got to hear the original voice. I didn't get to hear Gina's original voice. Obviously, they make these decisions. Maybe her accent was too strong. Maybe it wasn't her inflection or her delivery. It was just the way she said stuff. They were like, we want it to be sexy or whatever. You never know what the studio decision was that ended up replacing her voice. And then when that came out, that discounted her as an actress. But I think with just that, with not saying just the voiceover, but all the rest of her acting in that film, her facial expressions, everything was there. I like that film, Haywire. So I'm interested to see I want to hear what her acting voice is. So
just watch Fast 6, son.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, one of the
that's right. No, I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the most famous or infamous examples of that of an actor getting their voice replaced is just go back to Star Wars. David Prowse. He thought his voice was going to be in that movie, and then all of a sudden, rightfully so, it was the voice of James Earl Jones. So that's one. I was actually just reading a little bit more this morning about how irate and how much he hated that.
Yeah.
David Prowse hated
I remember reading that as well. It's incredibly pissed.
Yeah.
And I'll say this too. You can get better at your job too. Like you can become like you look at a guy like Channing Tatum who didn't have a lot of chops early on in his career, and now he maybe could have gotten nominated for an Academy Award this year. So you can get better at your job.
Yes.
Gina, you can get better at this. I have all the confidence in the world in you. I just need to see it on screen before I'm going to buy something like this.
Say a Darth Vader line in an English accent.
I can't even.
Luke, I'm your father.
Impressive, most impressive. You have no idea the power of the dark side. I think they did the right decision. Just do that for the rest of the day.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly how David Prowse sounds, too. That was John Cleese playing Darth Vader.
David
Now
Prowse
that
will
that has
come to my
become
house.
the master.
And now for something completely different.
Yoda.
All right. Hey, listen, time for an announcement. We've been talking around AMC, so I'm still laughing about that. We've been talking around AMC for a long time, about actually almost a year. We've been talking about AMC Movie News Phase 3. And I want to let you guys in on a whole bunch of stuff. I've been saying we would soon, and today is that day. So, AMC Phase 1 was basically us just getting things started. We were in this converted storage closet at the AMC Burbank 16, where we still shoot AMC Mailbag to this day. Me and Ashley shoot over there. And we shot Movie Talk there. That's where Schnepp first came and joined us, and we shot everything there. But then came time after a while, and we grew, and you guys were so supportive of us, it came time that we needed to make a change. We were going to add a new show. We were going to start to expand a little bit, and we needed better facilities. And that's when we met the fine folks at the Stream.tv. And we've been shooting AMC Movie Talk here and AMC I, as well as doing a 100 million view party here and some special events done. We did those here at the Stream.tv studios. And the Stream.tv has just been wonderful partners for us. We cannot recommend them highly enough. If you have a production or some things you want to try, the Stream.tv is the people you need to get in touch with to see if they can help you bring your vision to life. But as we continue to grow, we started realizing we had new shows we want to do. We had a lot of stuff we want to try. And I'm going to tell you about the new shows we have coming up in AMC Movie News Phase 3, which starts in March. It starts in just a few weeks. Now, we will continue to do AMC Movie Talk, obviously. AMC Movie Talk, which you can see our new logo here. AMC Movie Talk will be our staple. It's our daily movie news show. It will always be the spine of everything that we do here at AMC Movies, so that's continuing. Also continuing, of course, is AMC Mailbag, which you can also see the new logo up here. You can see all of our shows have that red icon sort of thing, which I really love. The creative department at AMC Theaters, we told them we needed some stuff, and they came up with some great stuff for us. So Ashley Mova and I will continue to be doing AMC Mailbag. We're going to try to work a few other people in there as well, that kind of stuff. Also continuing, obviously, is AMC Indie Spotlight, which we just launched a few months ago. Amy Rose and Alicia have been doing such a fabulous job on that show. If you are a fan of indie film, this is, I'm going to tell you right now, this is the show to watch. There is no show anywhere better talking about indie film than when Amy Rose, Eisenbach, and Alicia Malone do it with all the incredible guests they get on. That's the show you need to watch if you're into indie film. But we also have a few new things coming that we want to talk about. Oh, and yes, some people are going to ask me, yes, we're going to continue to do AMC spoiler reviews, but once in a while, those don't happen very often because they have to be really big films that all of the majority of us like, so it kind of narrows it down a bit, but we'll continue to do those as well. Now talking about some of the new shows. Starting with AMC Jedi Council. Now, of course, you remember 9 months ago, and yes, it was 9 months ago, we started and we did an experiment with a 4-week series of AMC Jedi Council just to get a gauge if we thought it was something that could be done and if our audience wanted it. We realized it could be done, and you guys let us know overwhelmingly that you wanted it. And so we put AMC Jedi Council back on the board, but we've been waiting to launch Phase 3 to do it, and now it is time. Christian Harloff will be hosting AMC Jedi Council with a panel that includes Maude Garrett, who, by the way, Maude Garrett is joining the AMC Movie News team. We're really excited about that. If you're not familiar with Maude, she is the blonde host of our 100 Million View Party and a plethora of Geek Bombs. She's done stuff with Schmoes. She's done a lot. She's incredible, and we're really thrilled to have her on. So Harloff is hosting, Maude Garrett and myself will be the panel, and then we're going to get, hopefully Paul Enns will be Skyping in once in a while. I haven't even talked to Paul about it yet. I'm just hoping he will. As well as different guests throughout the show. So that's going to be a weekly show. We're very excited about that. Next show up, AMC Heroes. This is going to be a weekly show hosted by John Schnepp, which will, that will be a weekly show that will run down all the top news stories of that week that came out of the world of comic book movies. We're really excited about that. You guys have been telling us for a long time that you want this show. We started, how long ago did we start talking about Heroes?
About maybe a year? Was
six
it
months to a year ago?
Yeah.
Like, we've been talking about this, putting it together, and now we're ready to go. I'm so excited that Schnepp's going to be doing it. I'm going to be on the panel with him as well as a rotating guest every week. This is going to be a lot of fun. Sticking on the theme of John Schnepp, another one of our new shows that's going to be a weekly show, might be the coolest show that we do, AMC Rewind. This is going to be a show hosted by John Schnepp, Alicia Malone, and Miri Jetikin. I'm so stoked about this. The concept is simple. And this came up in a staff meeting we had about 7 months ago. This is the idea for this first came up about 7 months ago, and the idea is we're going to talk, we talk all about new films, but we wanted an avenue to talk about classic films, films that every film fan should have in their repertoire. And so this is going to be a show that every week looks at both famous and hidden gem movies that are all at least 20 years old. So it can be a 70-year-old movie, 50-year-old movie, 21-year-old movie, whatever, and talking about those films. And we're going to have a segment that we playfully call the Feeling Old segment, where we kind of look at and highlight all the movies that turn 20 that week. I always feel really, really old every week when I look at the numbers and say, wait a minute, that movie's 20 this week?
Impossible!
Yeah, I am so stoked about that show. Like, just incredibly excited for it. Another new show coming. These are all weekly shows, by the way. Another new show. You may recognize the title. We used to do a show called Coming Soon, but that was just like a 5-minute show with one host kind of explaining to you what's coming up. Coming Soon, our new Coming Soon, a new and improved AMC Coming Soon, is something completely different. It is going to be a half-hour to 40-minute long show that is going to be a panel discussion show looking at all the films that opened up that week, talking about all the news that's come out, what we know about the film, the things that make us excited for it, the things that make us nervous about it, and then overall we're going to be giving the movie a score on our anticipation level. We're going to be shooting this show in advance, though, like a few weeks early, because we want to make sure when we do coming soon for that week's movies. We want to make sure none of us has seen the movie yet, and we're all just talking about our anticipation level for it. So it's actually going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a show that's going to be hosted by Amy Rose Eisenbach. It's going to have a panel of 3 other people. We'll give you the rundown on who's going to be on that show a little bit later. So coming soon is coming soon. All these shows, by the way, launch in the first two to 3 weeks of March, probably in the first 2 weeks of March. We're going to get those rolling. Another new thing that's coming is that you guys for a long time have been telling us we love the spoiler reviews, but because you only get to do so few of them, we want to hear your thoughts on more movies. We want just regular movie reviews from the AMC Movie News team. Now, I've always kind of resisted that, but you know what? More and more that I've thought about it, more and more me and the team have talked about it, the more and more I've heard from AMC in general about it is too. Because, my policy has always been we don't want to trash talk a movie because of conflict of interest. We don't want to trash talk a movie in its opening week, week on either side of it. We'll trash talk it in advance. If we think this movie looks terrible, we'll say it looks terrible. We'll trash talk it a week after it opens, like I'll talk about Jupiter Ascending or whatever. But I've always kind of had this rule that I want a little bit of buffer. But, AMC and some of the leadership of AMC said to me, you know what? Just, don't be ridiculous. Don't start swearing and throwing trash cans at things. But I mean, hey, be honest. Your viewers want you to be honest. And so we're going to try our hand at doing some regular movie reviews. We're not going to do every single movie. I think we're going to start with doing like maybe 4 reviews a month. And we'll see how that transpires. This is going to be a work in progress, but because you guys have demanded it, we are going to give it a shot because we like to listen to you guys. There are other things coming. One of the other things I should mention too, AMC Versus is going to be returning. It's going to be a monthly special that we're going to do once a month instead of as a weekly show. And there are a few other special things coming that we will let you know about in the coming days. The next thing I want to talk about with AMC Movie News Phase 3 is kind of a necessity with all these new shows coming. And one of the other interesting things here is somebody used to ask me about, hey, John, we'd love to see pictures of your office. I don't have an office. We've never had offices. I mean, that's the thing. We all work from home. And we realized that as we're just going to shoot all these new shows, like 15, 16, 17 episodes a week, and the fact that we need a centralized place to meet and collaborate together, and we're going to have our post-production guys and our production guys like Ray and Jonathan, they're going to be on full time with us now, and we needed a space of our own. And so, one of the heartbreaking things about needing a space of our own is when we realized, at the Stream.tv, we needed our own space. As amazing as this place was, we needed our own space. And so, in the next week or two, we are officially moving into, I'm not going to show you pictures yet. I want it to be finished before we show you full pictures. But we are moving into a 5,200 square foot AMC Movie News headquarters in Burbank, California. That will be a place for our offices, our creative space, and a big, huge, massive stage and studio space, which is ours 24/7, and that we can shoot anytime we need to or anytime we want. It's just become the natural evolution of what we needed to do. And so thanks to you guys and the support you've given us and the growth we've experienced, you guys have made all this necessary. And so we are so stoked about it. We are so excited about it. Super thankful for all the support that the leadership at AMC have been giving us. Because, I'm going to tell you, look, I actually had one of the vice presidents of AMC fly down because our head offices are in Kansas. They flew out here, and I explained to them why we need our new space. And I went and I showed them these 2 spaces. True story. Showed them I probably shouldn't even be telling this story. I might not be back tomorrow, just to let you know. But I found these 2 great studio spaces in one building, and I said, and I wanted to show them both of them because I needed the vice president to sign off on it. And they've been so supportive of us. I said, look, here's this space. This is all the benefits of it. This is this space. This is all the benefits of it. And they're right beside each other. And we went out and had lunch afterwards. He sat back and looked at me and said, I think you need both. And I'm like, done. And so we ended up getting both spaces. And now that we're moving everything in, I can't imagine not having both spaces. But so this is AMC Movie News Phase 3, really getting kicked off in a couple of weeks. Thank you guys for all your support and everything. And you just saw the new space yesterday for the first time.
I am so thrilled that you guys beat the Avengers and Marvel into getting into Phase 3 this quickly. And look, I'm still the new guy. I'm happy they don't make me get coffee anymore. Don't worry, my show, Time Cop Theories, will be on very, very soon.
Hey, we're still working on that Aunt May script. You know what I'm saying? We're making some things popping off, yo.
But the new space is fantastic. I mean, we all took a tour of it yesterday, and just all the different, there's so many different rooms where you can shoot in. They have bathrooms. They have a little corner where I can bathe myself from time to time. We can just hang out there and play video games in the lobby. Like it's so big, and what you guys want to do with it was just, it really blew my mind.
I just that's what we were arguing about earlier is the chimp security system. I just, for some reason, Ellis is sold on. I'm like, they can look you in the eye and attack. They can tear your arms off.
Terrifying to see if you're breaking in there.
So yeah, that's it for our announcements on that, guys. Thank you so much, and allowing us to take some time because I know you guys have been asking us about it, but we're so stoked about Phase 3. The crew, we're all excited about it, and we hope you're excited about it too. All right, with all of that out of the way, let's get to some mailbag questions. You know what? We're going to make sure we save a couple of minutes at the end of the show for some of your live questions as well. If you want to tweet us some live questions, tweet to us at AMC Movie News. But for now, let's get to the mailbag questions. Ashley, what do we got?
Andre Carrillo writes, "Hi, sons and daughters of AMC. Been watching for 3 years now. My question is about box office. When the count for a second and third weekend box office for a film is told, does it include what the film made during the week? Thanks, you make my day, and keep up the great work."
Well, I'm so glad we can make your day. No, actually, when you look at box office results, when you're looking at the weekend results, it's only counting that weekend. If it counted like the whole week, then you get uneven comparisons because, well, this movie that just opened this weekend only has weekend numbers, right? So it keeps it even. So you can look on these box office sites and look up what the full week results were if you'd like. But normally when you look up and you see weekend results, it just counts what a movie made that weekend. All right, what's next?
Cassie Drake writes, "With the Oscars right around the corner, I have a few questions. People are always asking, do you think movie or actor should/will be nominated? And John is always rationalizing that while maybe he could or couldn't make an argument for it being nominated, he doesn't think it's in the top 2 or 3 of its category and therefore unlikely to win in any event, so it's a moot point anyways. My question for you is this: how much of a bump or esteem does simply having a nomination give you? After Jonah Hill got nominated for Moneyball, people were joking about how they could now say, starring Best Actor nominee Jonah Hill. Does having even a nomination to your name make a difference? And if so, then why does John always say it doesn't matter if a movie/actor isn't nominated if he doesn't think it stands a credible chance of winning? Stay awesome."
Well, okay, so first of all, yes, there's huge esteem in being nominated. I mean, we talk a lot about, we were so thrilled last year at the Academy of Web Television Awards where AMC Movie News and AMC Movie Talk was awarded Best New Series. We're really excited about that. What we don't talk about as much, because of my complete humiliation, is that we were also nominated. I actually got nominated for Best On-Air Host at the Academy of Web Television Awards, and I was, rightfully so, thoroughly defeated. But I was, you're right, it was completely an honor to be nominated. I'm thrilled that I was so excited that I got nominated. Felt very special, and absolutely 10 times, 1,000 times more so for Academy Awards. Now, let me clarify though what I've always meant. I usually bring up, it's not that it's not important if somebody gets nominated or not. What I've always said is in the context of when somebody says this person got snubbed by not getting a nomination, or this person got robbed. See, my personal argument, and there's other arguments to be made against this, I'm just saying my personal argument has always been that to say somebody got thoroughly, just robbed of a nomination, to me, if you couldn't make an argument that that person stood a chance of winning, then really, how much robbed did they really get? Like, if you can't say with certainty that this might be the #1 person, then I just don't feel that same sense of outrage that they didn't get a nomination. That's not to say, though, that's a totally different discussion, though, about talking about whether it's valuable to get nominated. Absolutely, it's valuable to get nominated. There are many people that I felt should have got nominations at various years in the Academy Awards, but just because they didn't, I wouldn't necessarily say they got snubbed or outright robbed of it. Like Andrew Garfield's a good example of one. I say he got snubbed because I believe he should have won Best Supporting Actor for The Social Network. If I just thought he was like the #4, #5 guy, I would have said, yeah, he should have got nominated, but it wasn't a snub. So that's just what I mean personally when I say it. But like everybody has their different opinions about that. What do you guys think about that whole scenario?
I think you can get robbed, or I think you can get snubbed from a nomination, because I think nominations do two major things. They legitimize a career, like the writer said, Jonah Hill.
It's a great example.
Or Jennifer Aniston also. I think that would have been such a huge boost to her pedigree as an actress if she got nominated. Would she have beat out Julianne Moore for Still Alice? Probably not, but her performance in Cake could argue that it was 2 or 3 best of the year. And then when you look at the accumulation of nominations, somebody like a DiCaprio or a Bradley Cooper, the more nominations you get, eventually there's never going to be a Susan Lucci version of the Academy Awards. If you get enough
I can't believe you brought up a
nominations-
Susan Lucci example. That's awesome.
I bring up soap operas in my day-to-day.
Kids who are born after 1990, what Ellis is talking about, Susan Lucci from One Life to Live or some kind of soap opera type thing, she was nominated like 20,000 times, 29 times or something.
Yeah, before winning or something
Before she
like that.
finally
Yeah, and the Oscars love doing makeup calls. So if you get nominated a couple times, and even if you weren't supposed to win, the more nominations you get, the closer you're getting to actually holding the statue.
I think Oscar nominated is enough to like sell the next 10 years of your movies that should be going straight to DVDs. Like Oscar nominated Dweezil Scrimple in Blow You Away. Oscar nominated Flip Flimpson in you know Machine Gun Willie. Whatever. It's like, oh, Oscar nominated. It's like, I think when you're Oscar nominated, it does give you that raised up pedigree just to get that extra cash. Which I think if you get Oscar nominated, get that money. It's like actors. My favorite actors are like, look, I'm a tool, use me as you need to. It's like they can fit into roles, they're character actors. That's what an actor is. They're supposed to put on different masks, and they're like, look, this particular mask that I put on happened to have an incredible writer and a director, and I rocked, and we all put it together, and enough people from AMPUS actually watched it and nominated me. So to me, someone who got snubbed is Jake Gyllenhaal, because I don't think enough people saw Nightcrawler. That wasn't on the radar because the people who put out the money or whatever to stump for it, it just didn't get enough press for all the people from the people who actually do the nominations from the Oscars to see it. That's how I feel about it. So whether I'm like outraged, I'm not outraged. I just feel like, hey, he really should have been, maybe in my personal opinion, nominated over a few other people. But that's just how the Oscars are. It's like you always, what happened to the movies that came out earlier in the year? People just forget about them, and it's always like, well, this movie's going to get Oscar nominated because it's coming out closer to the time of.
They didn't forget about Boyhood.
Right. No. Well, thankfully they didn't, because that's a movie that really deserves it. So, also Cassie Drake, you win for longest letter ever.
All right, I said we leave a couple minutes. We just have a few precious minutes here, so let's get to some of your live Twitter questions. Ashley, what have you picked out?
Brandon Keith Avery writes, how do you feel about Matthew Vaughn directing the new solo Spider-Man movie? He's perfect.
I'm assuming that's a theoretical question, that I've not just missed something, because I might have when these other things can drop. Same thing I say about what do you think about this actor playing this role. Matthew Vaughn is an awesome director. Put him directing anything and it's a great idea. Let him direct a Star Wars standalone, let him direct a Spider-Man movie, let him direct an Avengers movie, let him direct Al Pacino's next movie. Doesn't matter, he's a great director, so whatever movie you say after, what about Matthew Vaughn directing bleh? Yes, my answer will just be yes.
Which is actually the name of the new Spider-Man film. Starring Spider-Man. Yeah, I think he'd be perfect for Spider-Man. Now, having said that selfishly, I think Matthew Vaughn is such a talented director that I want to see him do a Star Wars movie. So I don't want him wasting his time with anything else. If you have to, Spidey's a pretty good call, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't say wasting his time. If Spider-Man was called Blah and he was directing it, I'd be, I can't wait to see Blah.
With David Prowse as the villain. Hey, Spidey!
Spidey, I'm back with my force powers.
All right, what's next?
Ronald Pablico writes, in honor of President's Day, what are your favorite movie presidents? Mine is Harrison Ford in Air Force One.
Oh, that's a good one. Harrison Ford in Air Force One. I mean, in fiction, my all-time favorite is going to be Martin Sheen in West Wing.
Bill Pullman in
Independence Day.
Great speech. I tweeted out my favorite president yesterday, and that would be Mel Brooks as President Screw.
Yes!
Space.
Hail Screw! All right, what's next?
Hello, is Rounders 2 still happening? Thanks, and that comes from Sahil.
Yeah, that was weird. About a year ago, didn't that come out? That Matt Damon and somebody else said that they were working on developing a Rounders 2.
Right.
I don't think anything ever got greenlit. I don't think it ever moved past the development stage, but I don't know. Here's the thing. I would still like to see it. Also, because I'm a little biased because I'm a big poker guy, but I would like to see it, but I also feel like every week that passes, the chances lessen. So I'm not going to say it's an impossibility. I think it's possible, but I think it's growing unlikely. Have you guys heard anything?
I haven't heard anything otherwise. I hate playing poker. I hate watching it on TV, but that movie is endlessly rewatchable. So yeah, let's have another Rounders.
I just don't like the title, Rounders 2. It sounds like some other type of movie you'd watch. It's like,
all right, last one.
All right, Denzel Montgomery writes, do you think that there is tension between DC and Marvel?
You know, look, I'm not an absolute insider. I know a few people who are very highly connected inside both Marvel and DC. as far as I know, those companies get along very well. I mean, these companies have actually worked together on a comic book level. Now, Warner Brothers and Disney, who knows, but on a comic book level, there have been several times throughout history that they've come together and put out like those big, massive multi-universe
Amalgam.
the amalgam comics and stuff like that, right? And as far as I know, those two companies are still quite friendly with each other. I mean, they have their playground, they have theirs, and you know, they very rarely would they ever two cross over. So just because they get along well doesn't mean it's a good idea for them to cross over. But as far as I know, they actually are quite friendly. Have you guys heard anything?
Yeah, it's good for business, and business is booming. I think, you know, if Batman v Superman is like the #1 film of 2016, all comic book and superhero related films get a boost from that. So I think, you know, there's friendly competition.
Yeah, and I think competition breeds success when it comes to art. So looking at these two, I think it's like Rocky and Apollo, and I think it's like right after Rocky 2. You know, they've each won their battles, and now they're like, yeah, you know, we could be friends. We're you.
But Mr. T is like Dynamite or Boom. He's like, I'm coming for you. You know, like the smaller companies that are rising up. So.
All right, folks, that'll do it for us for this installment of AMC Movie Talk. Thank you so much for joining us. Listen, don't forget, lots of great movies playing at AMC Theaters right now. Head on over to www.amctheaters.com for all of your theater, showtime, and movie ticket information. If you want an audio-only version of this episode, look in the description of this video, and you'll find a link to our podcast feed. And don't forget to share this video on your Facebook and on your Twitter. Make sure you click the thumbs up button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I want to thank the guys sitting at the table with me. First of all, sitting right here, Mr. Mark Ellis, soon to be relocated his bedroom apartment into our new studio. Mr. Mark Ellis, where can people find you online?
5150 Ellis, and this Thursday I'll be in New York City on Gotham Comedy Live. It's a TV show. You can go to Gotham Comedy Club to watch it. MarkEllisLive.com is where you get tickets. Thanks for watching.
Of course, the one, the only Mr. John Schnepp. Schnepp, where can people find you?
You can find me at Gotham Comedy Live dressed as Batman. I'm going to make sure he's dressed as a giant chimp, maybe Gorilla Grodd or something, you know, like a superhero freak style.
But don't look him in the eyes.
Yeah, don't stare at him in the eyes. You can find me at Twitter and Instagram, just at John Schnepp, and at TDOSLWH.
And of course, our lovely host today, Miss Ashley Mova. Ashley, where can people find you?
Twitter, Instagram, at Ashley Mova. Happy Tuesday, guys.
And you can find me on all the various social media networks, just at John Campion. Two last quick things, guys. Follow us on Instagram. You'll find us at AMC Movie News on Instagram. We're always putting up little videos and little pictures and stuff like that, and follow us there. And Oscars this Sunday. Make sure you're tuned into our YouTube channel for Oscar Sunday. We're going to have a pre-show. We're going to give some reaction videos throughout the show. We're going to have a big post-Oscar wrap-up show. We'll give you more details about that later. So that'll do it for us. My name's John Campion for AMC Movie News, and until next time, bye-bye.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC Movie Talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.